Number 2 says solve the double inequality. And you notice that I have two inequality signs, and that's why it's called a double inequality. What you do with it, though, really doesn't change. You're trying to get the x in the middle alone, just like you would normally be getting an x on one side of your inequality sign. So the first thing I'm going to do is subtract 7, but I have to subtract it all three places. I subtract it where it's next to the 2x, and then I subtract it from the other two sides. So negative 11 minus 7 is negative 18, is less than or equal to negative 2x, which is less than positive 2, because 9 minus 7 is 2. So now I have to divide all three places by negative 2, still working to get x alone. Divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2. So now this gives me positive 9, and I divided across an inequality with a negative, so I have to change the direction of my inequality. That gives me x in the center. Again, change the direction of my inequality, and that gives me negative 1. But remember that when we're writing inequalities, we always write our answer from the smallest to the biggest, or the least to the greatest. So I need to turn this around. Negative 1, I'm still pointing to the negative 1, is less than x. X is still greater than that. Then is less than or equal to 9. Here it says 9 is greater than or equal to x, which is greater than or equal to negative 1. All I did is turn it around and say negative 1 is less than x, which is less than or equal to 9. Now I want to write that solution in interval notation, and let me look and see if they ask for us to write the answer. Yes, they didn't ask us to graph it. They just asked us to write it in interval notation. Interval notation, I go from the least of negative 1 up to the greatest of 9, and all I need to decide is, do I have parentheses or brackets next to it. Negative 1 is not included because I don't have a line under here, so that's a parentheses. 9 is included. I've got a line underneath it to tell me so, so it's a bracket. Had they asked us to graph it, which they didn't, but had they asked us to graph it, I would be going from negative 1 to positive 9, and it would look much like this does. It's between negative 1 with a parenthesis next to negative 1 because negative 1's not included, a bracket next to 9 because 9 is included, and everything that falls in between. And that's